Council meeting for Monday, November 6th, 2023. We'll call the meeting to order at 7:05. Will you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Sorry, we're a little late. We had a work session and it was easier to hold over for a couple minutes than bring everybody back later. So thank you for that. All right, Lease, will you call roll, please?
Councilmember Hatfield here. Councilmember Hubbard here. Councilmember Wong
Here.
Councilmember Brock
Here.
Mayor Winchell.
Yes. Moves us to number 4, adopting the agenda. Are there corrections or additions to the agenda? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Hatfield,
Second.
second by Councilmember Hubbard to adopt the agenda. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Post same sign. Sound very good. Oh my God, I broke it. All right, moves us on to item 5 or proclamations. I have 2 proclamations here. I have one for small business Saturday. We'll start with that one, and we do have a representative here to accept that. So I'll give it a quick read here. Proclamation, whereas Chaska celebrates its local small business and many contributions they make to local economy and community, and whereas small businesses are the backbone of our state local economies. According to the U.S. Business Administration, there are approximately 534,397 small businesses in Minnesota, representing 46% of the working population and employing 1.3 million people. Whereas studies have consistently shown that supporting the growth of existing small businesses produced a majority of economic growth in the community. On average, for every dollar spent at a small business, 67 cents stays in the local community. And whereas by shopping small, consumers make a big impact on their communities and local businesses. In 2022, consumers reportedly spent $17.9 billion in independent local businesses during Small Business Saturday. And whereas Chaska supports and recognizes its small, locally owned businesses for all they do to further enrich the economic and social fabric of our community. Whereas the people of Chaska are grateful to the independent businesses of the city for their many investments they make, the jobs they create, the generous contributions they provide to further the quality of life we all enjoy. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Mark Winchell, the mayor of the city of Chaska, on behalf of the city council and the citizens of Chaska, do hereby proclaim November 25th as Small Business Saturday. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and the seal of the city of Chaska this 6th day of November in the year of our Lord 2023. And I'll present this to Dan Keyport, who is the president of the Downtown Business Desk. I kept thinking smaller.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Here we go, guys.
Right here.
All right.
There. 1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
Thanks so much.
It's all yours.
Okay, well, I'll be very brief. First of all, thank you to the city council and the city for the proclamation. And also thank you to everyone who was out for the ribbon cutting for Highway 41 over the weekend. That was fantastic. The feedback I've gotten from the shops downtown is that the support was there and it was very much appreciated. And I'd look forward to seeing all those folks again on November 25th. Thank you.
Before you go, I just want to commend Dan. Dan has been the president of the Downtown Business Alliance for since the inception, I believe.
Not quite, but almost.
Yeah, almost. But he's such a big supporter and does so much to help make everything happen that's been happening downtown. And I will concur on Saturday. I mean, there was lines at Carver Junk. There was lines at Red Bench Bakery. I went into Linda's cellar and I kind of turned around and left. There was just too many people in there. I was in the way. I was trying to talk to Linda.
So you really wanted you to do that?
Yeah.
I bought something. for
But
you.
but I mean, it was, we were just trying to talk and I was just always in the way. So, and we did talk about that during one of our 46 on 41, she was one of our guests. And I said, it's hard for me to understand that the people aren't coming to the businesses because you can get to all of them. You're just coming in a different way. And a lot of times it's easier. But she told me since that road opened up, it was amazing what it did. And it's obvious. And I mean, I was back and forth and down there a number of times on Saturday. There was always people walking up and down the street. There was music at Second and Chestnut. There was music in the park. There was music right by our City Hall Plaza here. So it was a very festive day, and the weather was perfect. I just kind of stars all aligned. So thank you for all you do. And I was definitely wrong in my thinking that people should be able to get there, but once the road opened up, it really made a difference. I was in Red Bench at 8 o'clock and there was people stealing chairs from each other. There wasn't enough places to sit and there was a line constantly getting, so it apparently did really make a difference that was closed. So, but thank you for everything you do, Dan.
But
And
thanks for all your support for the downtown
Okay.
businesses.
Thank
as
you.
well. So thank you.
appreciate it. All right, I got one more. Krista, do we have somebody online?
We do not have anyone online.
Okay. We thought that there was someone from the American Lung was going to be on. So I'm going to read this one. This is in recognition of Lung Cancer Awareness Month. Whereas lung cancer is a leading cause of death among men and women in the United States. And whereas screening for lung cancer can lead to the early detection of lung cancer and save lives. And whereas additional research is needed in early diagnosis, screening, and treatment for lung cancer. And whereas each year more women die from lung cancer than breast cancer. African American have the highest lung cancer occurrence and mortality of all races. And whereas lung cancer in individuals who have never smoked is the 7th leading cause of cancer-related deaths. And whereas organizations working in Chaska, such as the American Lung Cancer Screening Initiative and the Women's Lung Cancer Forum are committed to working to increase lung cancer screening rates in Chaska. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Mark Winchell, the mayor of the city of Chaska, on behalf of the city council and the citizens of Chaska, do hereby proclaim November 2023 as Lung Cancer Awareness Month in Chaska and encourage all citizens to learn about lung cancer and early detection through lung cancer screening. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and the seal of the city of Chaska this 6th day of November in the year of our Lord 2023. And we'll get this proclamation over to their organization that reached out to us. So thank you for that. All right, that's it on the proclamations. We move to item 6, which is visitor presentation. And tonight we have Jay Molnau with the Chaska Lions here presenting a Melvin Jones Award.
Thanks, Mark. I'm part of the Chaska Lions Club. And for anybody who doesn't know what a Lions Club is, it's started in 1917 in Chicago by a man by the name of Melvin Jones, who saw there was a need for the needy. And he got a bunch of businessmen together and started Lions Club, or Lions, which soon became Lions International. There's a Lions Club in all 50 states and over 200 countries. Thus, it's Lions Club International. When they started out, their motto was, "We serve." And part of their kind of heritage now is their big thing is eyesight, where they've done a lot of programs, and Helen Keller was a Lions member. Chaska started in 1958. A local businessman by the name of Ray Hunsicker saw there was a need in Chaska for the same thing what Lions Club International stood for, and he got like 34 members to start out the club, and we're still here today, and our motto is, "We serve." And every year at the local level, we get to hand out an award or different awards. But the highest award that we have at the local is the Melvin Jones Fellow Award. And tonight, or this award is given to individuals who exemplifies the meaning of we serve. And I'm here tonight to hand out this award to a council member. You'll be able to figure out pretty soon who it is, but this person grew up in Chanhassen, part of District 1112, went to high school in Chaska. After high school, he got married, moved to Chaska, worked on the city public works, became a volunteer fireman, left Chaska to go other places, but in the meantime, he decided to run for council, run for mayor. He got that. So tonight, I'm here to say, Mark, you've been a volunteer fireman, public works, you know Chaska. There's not an event that I've gone to where you haven't been there, whether it's River City Days, Taste of Chaska. I served with you on the Chaska Cubs baseball board, and you truly do humanitarian services and you do serve. So tonight I'm here to award you with the Melvin Jones Fellow Award.
Thank you, Jay.
Well,
Greatly appreciated. Wow, that's a pretty fancy
Well,
plaque.
you deserve it.
Are you coming up here?
Come on.
And for the shot.
Yeah.
That Instagram profile.
Yeah, that's right. 1, 2, 3. All right, we'll get one sliding up here. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
Connie, you doing
I'm
good?
good.
All right.
There's a little letter in here explaining
Okay.
what it is, and if you ever go to just outside of Chicago, your name is at the Lions International.
Oh, really?
So, thank you.
Cool. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Jay. Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
is there any title that we call?
No, nothing changes. Nothing changes. Thanks for being here.
You know, they're
They're already gone.
gone.
They're gone. All right. Do we have anybody online visitor presentation?
Nobody is online.
Okay. All right. We'll move on to approve previous meeting minutes. Again, if there are no corrections or additions from the meeting on 10/16/23, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Hubbard,
Second.
second by Councilmember Grau. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Post same sign. Motion carries. All right, moves us to item 7 or 8, which is, yes, 8, which is consent. Again, these are all items that need our approval, but not necessarily conversation, but any and all are open. If anyone has a comment, concern, or question.
Just have one comment. So yeah, it's really encouraging to see that we talked about this in the last meeting about the stack and whack charges and how we're trying to work work with those to encourage small businesses, especially restaurants and in our downtown historic area. And it's really encouraging to see this come back, went through consent and also to see someone immediately using it too. So which is proof positive that this is having an impact right here, right now. And can't wait to see more of these coming through to be able to take advantage of this, this sort of package. So that way we can see, more development, the development that I think you guys have said that looking for many years, and to see that really helps spur the growth in our downtown area. So, again, really super excited about this and glad to see it happening.
I just had, not necessarily on the topics of F&G, I just think it's good conversation to have for anyone who's watching, including maybe us up here, understanding the difference between Breakaway Hockey and Breakaway Academy, because I think sometimes people think that's one and the same, and I maybe even guilty of that in the past, yes, and trying to understand, and I've learned through that. So, because there's two specific things that are interesting, because when you first look at it, you're like, well, we lease and then we approve a new lease, But I think just that understanding what those two things are and what is different between those two organizations.
Yeah, so Breakaway Hockey is a more like a dryland training program. And they've used a room space in our arena to be able to do some of their programming. They've done less and less since COVID. And so they haven't used it and just haven't had the need for it. They use just one small room. It's not very big. Breakaway Academy is the school. Is a school that's down in the basement. They have, the elementary age kids that are there. They utilize a lot of the amenities we have in the facility. So Breakaway Hockey is the one that's terminating their lease early. Breakaway Academy is actually renewing their lease to continue forward.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's when you first glance, if someone was looking at it and just clarification of similar but different organizations and whatnot. So I appreciate that.
So Breakaway Hockey's terminating, but Breakaway Academy is approving.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I was gonna ask for clarification because I got caught up in this.
Well, I got a question from one of you. And so when you asked the question, I'm just like, I bet you all of them have that question.
Well,
So I was gonna mention it regardless.
To my explanation, I was looking at the agenda while I was in a car on my cell
Driving?
phone, and I was not driving. I was a passenger, but I was like, oh, that doesn't make sense. But maybe it's just because of like leased space. I was trying to read the details, but
Two separate entities.
I got clarification.
Is there any relationship between those? two?
Originally there was. That's why they have the same name, but there is a name
Okay,
there.
so there's no longer, okay,
No.
got it.
So the Breakaway Hockey is just no longer in there.
Correct.
All right. Well, that helped clarify that one. All right, anyone else got anything? All right, I'd entertain a motion to approve consent.
Motion to approve consent.
Motion by Councilmember Hatfield, second by Councilmember Wong. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Post same sign. Carries. All right, we have no action items today. So we're gonna go right into bills. Anyone got a question on a bill?
Yep, I have two questions. On pages 17 and 18, there's one for co-drew equipment it lists the description as Howard PRV.
Yeah, so what that is it was a pressure reducing valve that needed to get replaced up on Howard Drive Lane. Yeah. Up by Mabel Court. So it's basically it's a piece of equipment to make sure that we don't have our the water going into your house too.
So as the water's coming down the hill, down the grade?
Yep.
Yep.
The water's building pressure, so it's
Yep.
gotta be reduced.
It's just very abbreviated.
Yeah,
So, yes. Okay. Then the other question was on page 40 of the Vetton Company. It's at the Hill Tower demolition. Is this for the tower? Is this for that old water tower that's up on the top of that hill?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
those are
which just
tower.
got demoed.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Anyone else? Motion to pay the bills.
So move.
Motion by Councilmember Wong,
second.
second by Councilmember Hubbard. Discussion. Hearing none. Elise, we call roll?
Councilmember Hatfield.
Yes.
Councilmember Howard.
Yes.
Councilmember Wong.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Yes.
Yes. All right, moves us to other business. Councilmember McGraw.
I would just say that I guess I'd mention just recognition of the happenings of the city of Chaska. We've talked a little bit tonight of downtown and 41 and the appreciation of all the businesses that stuck through that and worked through that. And I'm excited to see continued investment in that area. I spent a lot of my time this weekend in Eastern Carver County School District gyms. So you had a lot of inflow, and I think people, which I think corresponded well too. Maybe some people floated downtown or that because you had a lot out of town individuals with basketball tournaments. It was the boys basketball tournament. So it's third grade through eighth grade. Boys in many different divisions. So you get lots of different towns. And then girls have a similar basketball tournament, which I believe is in January off the top of my head. So just a lot of interesting happenings throughout the city. I think that's all I actually have. I'm good.
Right. Okay, I have a few things here. First is on October 25th, we had the public facilities program, public safety center open house. So like there's a pretty decent attendance, not as much as I think maybe some of us are hoping for, but it was good to be able to like talk to residents and get some good input from them and kind of hear their perspectives. And sounds like we also recorded the session too, so that's presumably also going to be available on the website. So that way anyone who's interested in seeing the presentation can also see that too, right? And of course, the big news I think what got mentioned a little bit earlier is Highway 41's finally open. So yay! So that's been a big win for all of us. I know that there's been a lot of people involved with this very deeply. So thank you to everyone. And thank you everyone's staff who was involved and along this journey, and as well as the downtown businesses, Bolton and Bank, as well as Hedges and Sons, and a lot of other people who have been instrumental to make this happen. So. It's a big shout out to everyone there. On Sunday, December 3rd, it's a tree lighting ceremony at City Square or Fireman's Park. And also the 100 Club will be having their event from 4 to 6 earlier in the evening, but 6 p.m. is when the tree lighting ceremony is open to the public. Congratulations to some young curlers from our community who did really, really well, and and it was in Utah, right?
No, Bemidji.
It's in Bemidji this past weekend. So so congratulations to them. Also in the week of October 23rd, a firefighter from Waconia passed away. It was not a call related issue, but it's one of those things that was just very heartwarming to see the support from the entire firefighting community come out to support that firefighter and their family. Whether or not it's a call or not, it's just amazing to see how there's like one large firefighting family out there. So condolences to them. There was also one item I just noticed, and I was reading the investment reports because investment reports are super fun to read, right? And I was noticing that the negotiable CDs from RBC are in the 3.3% range, and I was also noticing that like the local bank CDs, there's a range in like 0.4% to 4.17%. And my question was generally is like, are there opportunities to try to get better interest rates given the situation we're at, and how do we do that?
That's something our finance department does, is they, look at where are the best places to put our dollars at a certain time. We put a certain number of dollars, we put a certain number of dollars in each of the local institutions, but then beyond that, then invested based on where we'll see the best return.
Okay, yeah, because I know that was important because in Southwest Transit, we're looking at a similar thing. And one of the challenges we had was that the local institutions weren't able to provide as aggressive rates as we would like. So, but we still wanted to maintain a business relationship with them. So we did keep funds with those institutions locally to at least maintain that we do have a belief in them, wanted to support the local economy, but in the best fiduciary interest of the organization, we didn't need to invest in the interest rates that were providing higher yields for the ventures for other taxpayers, because we're stewards of that money. So I just wanted to ask the question because I believe it's important to be mindful of that. The last comment is that it's more of is sharing something personal, which is that on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I had the opportunity to chaperone my son's trip from middle school east to Deep Portage. So I don't know, for those of you who may not have grown up in the area or may not have kids in middle school, all of the middle school students in Eastern Carver County schools have an opportunity to go up to Deep Portage for 3 days. And basically it's to have a real world field experience, learning about nature, about conservation, and also learning skills that will help them, potentially in real life, like teamwork, as well as, like navigation and, wayfinding and things like that. And it was really, really an amazing experience to see these young people who are effectively sixth graders, to see like in a wayfinding course, and like from not knowing anything about how to read a topographic map to being able to sit out in the field in the woods with like a radio and a compass, and here, go find these waypoints and find your way back. And to be able to see those skills develop with these, these students was absolutely amazing. And it was just such an incredible experience to see that. And so I want to put in a plug for anyone who has children now in Eastern Carteret County schools who are in the 5th grade or even younger, right? I would strongly, strongly, strongly encourage you to chaperone and volunteer to chaperone, because they need chaperones to make this happen. And it's a great experience to be able to participate in that. And I think it's a great experience to be there with your kids and to see these kids really grow and to have these like nature experiences, and also to see them unplugged for 3 days too, because there's no cell phones, no electronics of any sort. So they're actually completely 100% unplugged from the internet and technology for a few days. So it's a great thing to see. And I didn't hear one complaint from any of those kids about not having like, their cell phones or anything like that once they started doing their activities. So I want to give a big shout out to all, to Middle School East and to Eastern Carteret County Schools for putting together such a great program. And like I said, if you have kids coming up in going to middle school next year or next couple of years, really, really, really seriously consider doing the chaperoning, because it's a great experience and your kids will love you for doing it.
Does the chaperone have to be unplugged from the internet service too?
No.
The chaperones actually have their own room that they get to bring their own snacks and treats
Yes.
to.
Yes, and all the kids walk by and it's like
Cookies
"How come you have
and
all those cool
licorice
snacks?"
and chips.
Yes.
We had all kinds of fun.
No, I appreciate you sharing that. I laugh because I do have a 5th grader. But like I said, I remember I don't know if it was 6th grade, but Western Minnesota and Montevideo, we made that trip up the Hackensack, and I remember breaking apart all pellets and starting fire, all those fun things. So yeah, it's such a great experience that when so much has changed, so much hasn't changed.
That's one of the best things that hasn't changed. To see that, to see those kids out there, learning how to start a fire or how to build a shelter, right? Learning how to do some of these basic skills. It's like, it's really, really cool. It's really exciting.
The biggest skill I remember learning there, chaperoning, was when they gave you a stick and showed you how to measure from the ground how many boards you could get out of a tree by cutting it down.
Really?
I don't know if they still did that, but it was really interesting that the lumberjack technique to determine a tree and how many boards you'd actually be able to cut out of that tree. I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah. It's very cool. So yeah, so that's my plug. So it's and like I said, great program. Love that we still do that, and hope that the district continues to do that for many years to come. I think there is no substitute as a learning experience as to have an experiential learning experience, to be out there and learn by doing. That's all I've got.
Okay, thank you. You're up there, kiddo.
Me?
Yep.
Oh, not much to say other than, I was out at the Highway 41 ribbon cutting. It was wonderful. It was fun to see a lot of the business owners come out. The Bolton and Mink, other people that, helped obviously construct the road, to have the ribbon cutting happen. It was great. So and went out and shopped, and it was a wonderful day. There was just a fun vibe downtown with all the music. So I think it's been said, but it was wonderful. The only thing I have is just Veterans Day is coming up on Saturday. Just want to thank our veterans, and I think the middle school.
I was trying to find that and couldn't find it to
Because
see
they
it.
don't make it public.
Oh,
They don't, it's.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean,
They don't want an inpouring into the school. So it's kind of it's an invite, and people that know it, but it's really not,
Okay.
because I was asking kind of that same question. It's really not a public event.
Okay.
It's something they do for the veterans.
Yeah, because I was gonna put in the bi-weekly because I was looking up, but I just could not find anything on it. So I didn't. know if it-
There's a super secret event happening. Just kidding. No,
It's really
no,
time for the
it
school
is the
events.
school event. It's a wonderful event. Those that are obviously in the know, it's a great event. But just overall, just thank our women, our men insert that, you know, have served or in service for their contributions. And I know that there's a lot of great other events happening, you know, in correlation with it, or businesses that are having promotions. So, but that's it for me. I don't have much.
Okay, thank you.
Right. The Downtown Business Alliance had their Halloween event on the 28th, and that was nice. It was really nice because Auburn Manor participated, and it was so fun
It was so
to
fun.
go in. Like, it was literally to see their faces light up with the kids trick or treating.
Oh.
I borrowed a child for it, so I
Make me-
got to see that.
Just grabbed one.
Sweet little
Are we gonna
ladies.
hear about this at a later date or anything?
No, their aunt was along as well. So.
Okay,
And then, so that was a nice event, even, you know, the businesses show up and hand out candy and things like that. And it's nice. And it's a nice way too for people to get downtown and see what businesses are down there. So, that was a nice event that was put on. And then, also just want to talk about Deer Weekend last weekend, which was also the Highway 41 opening. It was very nice to see downtown so busy. I saw people walking around with their beers, and it was, everywhere I went was busy. So Linda's was very busy. I had lunch at Patron's, and they're like, "We're so sorry, it's really busy." The line out the door, I'd asked Brandy Dressen when does the line usually die down? And she's like, usually around noon. Well, I can tell you that line was still going strong at 1. My sister was mad. We had to wait in a line when I told her there'd be no more line. So it was fantastic to see that there was still a line. Red Bench, when I went before the ribbon cutting, and then after the ribbon cutting, before the ribbon cutting, packed, line out the door. After the ribbon cutting, later in the afternoon, right before they closed, there was nothing but cookies left. So I don't know if they just it was an hour before they closed. So I don't know if they just took everything back or they were sold out, but there was nothing but cookies left. So that was really cool just to see downtown just be, you know, bright and vibrant, and people out and eating at Size and the Legion and everything. So thank you to everyone that came down for that event. And then the Highway 41 ribbon cutting, that was really cool just to see. So I was a little worried. I knew people were excited, but for a second I was like, what if only like 5 people show up? That would be a real bummer. But the community showed up. There were business owners. There were surrounding community business owners that came, community members, MnDOT, contractors, county, everybody came, and it was just so cool to see. And it was fun to hear MnDOT, the representative from MnDOT, talk about this project, you know, in its early stages and what the state wanted to do, and hearing, I had never heard about the 4-lane thing, and just how as much as we heard some negative things throughout this process, if the city hadn't been willing to take on leading the project, how different that landscape could look downtown. And I don't think people realized that, but it was a good reminder that this was an important reinvestment for us. And then also just cool to hear Dan Keyport, who we saw earlier, talk about this being the beginning of a downtown renaissance for the downtown. And just how, I think that's how the business owners are feeling, is that this is kind of like a new start for them. And we see a lot of reinvestment. We've had a few buildings go up for sale and be purchased. There's a building, you know, being completely redone downtown. And there's just a lot of people excited about what that's going to look like as we move forward. And I'm certainly excited to see next year with the Paseo. So just very exciting day for sure. So I think that's all I wanted to say about that today. And then Hometown Holidays coming up, that was mentioned. This isn't a city event, but I thought it was really cool, and also a testament to kind of when you dream and when you attract the right businesses, what can happen. So on November 18th, there's going to be a Chaska brew crawl, which I think is cool. So 2 breweries in Shakopee and 1 in Chaska, Shram. And just, getting Shram here and how cool that was. And what are you guys doing?
He's
I didn't hear what you said it was.
It's a brew crawl, Chaskopee.
Like
Like you go to the
Beer.
breweries.
beer.
Beer.
Matt. I know, beer.
Oh, well, okay. Anyways, it's cool though, because you just know that those people are gonna go through downtown to get to Shram, and they just have a lot going on. I think it's just exciting to see when we have different businesses come to town, what can happen. So even get things that say Chaskopee on it. So I think that's it. That's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you.
I couldn't figure out what that was.
We got it. Sit there.
I know I got it.
See, there, see, there we go.
Okay.
But yes, I might even get a.
That's what I was thinking.
There you go. Due to this.
Elise.
Just thank you to those of you who came down on Saturday. Obviously, it made a big impact for those businesses, and I heard a lot of folks very excited that you were all there helping to celebrate. So thank you. I don't have anything else.
Michael?
Not have anything tonight.
All right, Matt.
I want to thank Elise for everything that she has done throughout the entire construction project. I mean, she doesn't, people don't realize everything that she coordinated and did during the event, and it made it so much nicer for people to have a consistent face to be able to talk to in the whole process, instead of feeling like they're getting sort of shoveled in different places. And when she needed to bring in somebody else, she brought in somebody else, and then we dealt with it. And I just can't say enough for how appreciative I am of the work that she's done and how much better the project went because of the work that she did. It's just it was extremely important. I am very, very appreciative. So thank you.
And thanks for not quitting, because you really got thrust right into it.
Yeah. You kind of walked into this job and got thrown into the fire. Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
lions den. That's right.
Yeah.
There's definitely some rough days out there, but you persevered through them. It's just, I mean, I was really impressed with your grace through so much of this, because it's been a challenging road, to say the least. So thank you. No pun intended.
All right, that's all for you. All right. Just a few things. I want to thank the Lions for that award. It's very humbling to get that award. I know that I went to Officer Julie, got it last year. Was it last year? So I'm in with some prestigious people now. I guess I don't know what else to say about it, but thank you for thank you for giving me that award and being with some pretty special people. So thank you very much. I too just want to talk a little bit about Saturday. The grand opening of 212 or 41. It was amazing. I was shocked how many people were there. Like this has been said, I know, but I need to say it myself, that the business owners that were there, Steve and Jeanette Henches themselves showed up. They just got home from Africa and came to the ribbon cutting, which very surprised me. They are the owners, obviously, of Henches Construction, and that's doing all the work. A number of the foremen and lead people were at the event. MnDOT, 3 people came out from MnDOT, which is John Solberg that spoke there is head of the whole metro area MnDOT. But we're fortunate we have some ties here with John. So John came out, and then I think other MnDOT people found out that John got invited, and why weren't they? So then they wanted to come. So Diane came, and is it Sheila? Sheila's the new temporary what is she? She's the interim of our district, I think. Or now it might be the Metro. I don't know. For John Barnes that retired anyways. Mike Barnes. But anyways, it was just amazing to see all the people there and standing there to seeing the line for Carver Junk and just all the people going into the businesses that just standing there that you could watch and see was amazing. I think everything went, I think the whole event was pretty cool. I know Kevin did a lot of work on setting that up, so thanks, Kevin. For all that, getting everything set up and having a microphone there and all that. Lease, I too agree. You kind of got thrown into a tough spot and you handled it well. I know some people weren't always really happy about, and you happened to hear it maybe more often than we wanted to, but I think I agree with Matt. It was important that you were the face, that if you needed something, you knew that we had to, if you needed somebody special, he brought them in. And so thank you for that. And Michaela, I know you go into all of those meetings since the beginning. And I know Mike, you were going in, and I think Taylor went to some as well. No, you didn't. All right. But thank you for that. Cause sometimes it's not easy to have a council person there. They turn the focus away from whoever's ever leading it. And then they kind of expect you guys to have answers. And but I think it's important that you were there and showed that the city does, and the council this project was important, but we also knew the impact to our businesses. So, and I talked about it earlier I kept saying, why aren't the businesses getting people there? You can get there. Everything's wide open, but it truly did amaze me that 41, once it opened, that people really came in. It was amazing to see all of the people walking around downtown. It was really awesome. So even though it didn't seem like a big event Saturday, it was truly a big event Saturday. And like I said when we talked, I don't know that the city has ever taken on a project that big that had that kind of an impact on the city ever. And I don't know if we ever will again. I mean, it's such a big project that I don't know. All I can say is thanks everyone that had a hand in making it go forward and moving along. Like I said, there were some bumpy roads that we had to go through for a while, but at the end, I think we see the fruits of our labor. So thank you to everyone, and Bolton and Mink, they were awesome about getting information out. Greg was always around. Nicole, right? Nicole, I mean, she was around. She was one of our guests on the 46 on 41. So it was they played a big part in the whole process and keeping it really about keeping our information line open, what things that needed to get done and stuff like that. So it was a very, very tough project on our businesses. Thank you for persevering what they had to go through. And, I hope now that as we move forward that we can get things back up to regular numbers again and visitors and guests and people stopping at the businesses. So hopefully now that the road's open and there is some a little bit left, they thought 61 like in the Chasers would be done by the 15th of November. So I think Roxy's pretty good that she knows that there's an end date with hers project. And I see they're still pouring concrete sidewalks, and word that I've been hearing is the temperatures are going to stay pretty comfortable for the next almost 2 weeks. So I think that's really going to help them get a lot more done than maybe expected when without any that word of snow. So that's encouraging. I'm excited to see that they might get that more done than they had hoped for. And I said this too, I really wasn't expecting the road to be open the early part of November. I would have figured Thanksgiving was kind of like other projects that always seems to be at the end, you know? So I'm very happy. I think Ken just did a good job. I don't know. I mean,
It was a big game changer. Was it the Downtown Business Alliance meeting 2 times ago?
Yep.
Was a big game changer for just sort of saying, this is the date. And I mean, literally, it was the date.
but it just goes back to that, I hope that the businesses felt that they had an open communication line to say, we need it by this date, and people listened.
Well, I mean, they made it very clear, the businesses, that Saturday was a big day for them. And so
I agree.
huge kudos to, Bolton, Mink and Henches for taking that. I mean, taking that seriously, and not just that somebody was venting, that say, hey, this is important. And they took it to heart. And I'd say within a week came back with something that looked like it could work. And so,
Awesome.
I just want to add something here. I had when I was during the celebration, I had a chance to speak with one of the henches, and she said, you know what, you gave us an impossible task to get this open by the 4th, but we're glad we got it done. So it was, I think it's one of the acknowledgements that what we asked, that was not easy. It was not something that they were planning on, but we gave them a challenge, and they and Bolton Mink, and staff and a lot of people really rose to the occasion.
the other thing I think is worth mentioning about that project is, I remember the first time we looked at that project was back, I believe, in 2010.
I was gonna say, I
And it
became
was-
mayor and we were already talking
Yeah,
about
it was, it had to do when we were looking at, when MnDOT was looking at the new bridge, or the one that would have bypassed Chaska. This whole discussion about what to do with 41 in downtown, that was the first time that the discussion came up about a design like this. That it only took 13 years.
Well, there's an end though. That's a good thing now.
Yeah.
So, and just going off that, I want to just touch on again, November 25th, we did a proclamation. That's Small Business Saturday. That's Saturday after Thanksgiving, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
That's another very big day for downtown. So please, hopefully you can come downtown and buy some Christmas gifts and whatever, but just come down and have a lot of fun. So it's always a busy day and there's a lot of stuff going on. So, and then the following Saturday is hometown holiday. So busy few times coming up here. Guess you can tell Christmas is coming, the big trees up at Fireman's Park. Saw that going up. I thought, geez, it seems early, but
It's actually
maybe.
later than last year.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because it's warmer though. Last year was cold and snow, I think.
Yeah.
So, middle school program, we kind of talked about the veterans. That's an amazing program. Kids do and put up, their speeches, and the bands and the choirs, do a phenomenal job. And, the amount of veterans every year is growing. I remember the first couple of years they had it, there was 2 rows of veterans, and now they're bringing more and more chairs in as the program goes on, as people are coming in. So it's a great program. I know it's not a public program, but it's amazing, and how respectful the kids are. And that's what I think is important. And I hope that that's what they're learning out of that. So, thank you to all the veterans on Saturday, which is the official day. The program is obviously Friday because school's in session. So, all right, I think that's it on my end. Next meetings, November 20th. Most likely we'll have the public safety building coming in for preliminary. So that will be a big meeting for us as we move forward on that. December 4th is our truth and taxation meeting, and then December 18th, which would be our final approval of the budget. So Lots coming up. Lots of conversation on budget. Had one tonight, and we'll have one prior to the next two meetings as well, so.
No, prior to the next meeting.
Just the next one? Is
Yep.
it the only one? Okay. Okay. All right. I think that's it. Anyone else? Last call? Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Councilmember Hatfield,
Second.
second by Councilmember Wong to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Post same sign. In a couple weeks. Thanks for being here.